Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video. I am Infinity43 and we are back looking at a 143 scale model today. This is an IXO creation from 2012, the Mini Jcw Rally. If you want to skip straight to the model review, the time is on the screen now. Otherwise, let's get into the history of this car and see what it's all about. The original Mini is one of those iconic vehicles that everybody loves, even if you don't want to admit that you love it. Maybe you don't want to drive one or own one, but when you see one of those original round nose Minis in mint condition just cruising by, you're gonna smile. It's iconic. The first car I actually ever owned was a 1979 Mini Special, so I might be a little bit biased, but I don't think I am. Now, the original Mini was adapted for rally as early as 1961. The belief was that the small wheels and the nimble body made for excellent handling, and that was certainly the case. I'll save the history of the original Mini for a video on that model, but the stats speak for themselves. 31 international rally victories and 4 championships. The Mini brand would not appear in rally championships again until 2011, when the Mini WRC team debuted the Mini Jcw Wrc WRC. Based on the Mini Countryman, a slightly larger car that really starts to stretch the definition of Mini, it had a 1.6 litre turbocharged engine and was developed by BMW Motorsport. Hardly surprising, as BMW owns the Mini brand these days. The Jcw was entered into limited events in 2011, with a focus on developing the car for 2012 and beyond. Nevertheless, they did manage to score a win at the Rally Mont Blanc Morzine. Not a WRC event as such, but still a victory. In 2012, it was a fully fledged competitor, but with some weird changes. The Mini WRC team lost Mini's support as a manufacturer after round 1 at Monte Carlo, and so they rebranded as ProDrive WRC team from Rally Portugal onwards. 2 other teams, which I'm about to butcher, are Mundo Araggio World Rally Team and Palmeirinha Rally, merged to form WRC Team Mini Portugal for Rally Sweden. And it is car number 12 from Team Mini Portugal that forms the basis of our model review today. So, did anything interesting happen for Mini in 2012? Well, they scored a podium at the opening Rally Monte Carlo with Danny Sordo, but other than that, nothing to speak of really. Citroën and Ford dominated the 2012 season, clinching every other podium except the one achieved by Sordo. At the end of 2012, BMW withdrew its financial support for Team Mini Portugal, and this sadly forced the team to shut down. As for the Jcw Mini, it secured a few wins over its lifetime, as well as some runner-up positions. Nothing quite like the original legend, but then there was always going to be a tough act to follow. IXO models, they're like inescapable if you're in this game, aren't they? They're everywhere. I think I've said this before. They're like the cockroaches of the model world, except they're not disgusting and you don't want them to land on you. But they're everywhere. The thing is, they do good work, even if it's a little sloppy sometimes. In this instance, I think they managed to get it right. I bought this model brand new through a local online store. It was unusually cheap, perhaps because it was being removed from production, I'm not sure, but it arrived in perfect condition and well packaged. I may have said this before, I do like how IXO displays their models. The gloss base, the angled vehicle, and the car details in the bottom right corner, it all works really well for me. It looks presentable, and the slant on the base makes the model easier to look at when it's on a shelf. And that's why you buy them, right? You want to look at them, so makes sense. IXO is not necessarily the highest quality in terms of materials used. If you pick up, let's say, a Mini Champs model, and you pick this one up, there is a clear difference in weight, and that suggests thinner or cheaper material, or generally cheaper building parts really. But as I've said previously, these are not toys that you would play with, unless you really want to spoil your children. They are display models, and as long as you treat them properly, you won't have issues with the build quality. The finish of the model is well presented, along with the carbon fiber effect and the decals. Interior detail is limited but good enough, and panels seem to be well fitted. There aren't any glaring gaps or skew parts anywhere on this car. What is unique about a model like this is that there's nothing unique about it. In terms of history, I mean. Other than one podium in WRC, the return of the Mini to rally was nothing spectacular. It's not like owning, let's say, a model of the Le Mans winning GT40 or even the new Ford GT that won when it returned to Le Mans. It doesn't have a great story attached to it, but it still has a story. And I guess I have a soft spot for any Mini really. So I am glad to have it, and if you're a fan of the car, this is a good example of one.